Hey guys, it's Akari, and in this video, I'll be walking you through how I wish shadow operating was explained to me as a complete beginner. So maybe you've been watching a couple of my videos and you're kind of learning about shadow operating, or you might be completely new here. So this is like your first time hearing about this business model. So either way, this will be really good because I'm going to walk you through step by step, and by the end of the video, you'll have clear steps on how to proceed and kind of how to start making money with this, right? Because this business model definitely works, and especially in this day and age in 2026 with the creator economy exploding and so many influencers out there either under monetized or not monetized at all, there is a massive opportunity for us to step in and essentially take a piece of the pie, right? So let me start by explaining like what shadow operating is. So a shadow operator, like us, right, is someone who essentially knows how to monetize an influencer's audience. So what we do is we go out, we find an influencer, partner with them, build and launch a digital product. So this could be a few things. It could be a course, could be a community, could be a coaching, and then we scale it, right? So we continue to generate revenue and we build that business up, and then we can create systems to actually remove ourselves from that business that will allow us to free up a lot of time and maybe have the lifestyle. So if you want to travel the world, if you want to like spend time on your hobbies or with your family, or if you just want to make more money and find another influencer, you can do that as well. So that's kind of like what I teach, and that's what I'll be talking about. And that was a very general overview, you could say, of the model. Now let me get into a bit more detail. So the first step, right? What we want to do is find an influencer, because without the influencer, we can't actually do this business. And a lot of people overlook this step and they might go and just start messaging any random influencer, not knowing that maybe they have fake followers, maybe they're in a bad niche, maybe they already have a successful business and they don't need our help. So that's where we start, and that's where, you know, the foundation of the skyscraper that we're going to build of this business is very important, okay? So yeah, we need to identify like, is this influencer actually going to be good to partner with? And is there an opportunity for us to actually help them and make money? And we do this by a few ways. Now, we want to pick a niche of influencers, and ideally this niche is something that solves a pain point or problem, right? Because let's say if we're reaching out to influencers who are in the travel niche, or like talking about productivity, or just something really general that's not actually going to benefit someone, well then their audience is not really in a buying state of mind and they don't really have much problems. Versus if you go to like the dating niche, where, you know, it's like maybe it's a girl who's talking about how to find like the dream partner for a guy, and then you know that the audience, whoever following that account, actually has that problem and actually wants to solve this, right? So that's kind of what I mean by niche. You want to find a niche that solves a pain point. And yeah, we're only going to be looking for influencers in that niche, okay? That's the first thing. The next is you want to make sure that their account actually has decent engagement. So like, are they getting likes? Are they getting comments? Like, how's the reels, like, or subscribers or views? You get the point, right? We want to see real activity, real people interacting with their profile in some way, shape, or form. If that's happening, that's good. And then the next thing is, of course, like, are they promoting anything right now? Or like, have they got any links? Or just check out their profile and see how it's doing. Obviously, these are quite the first few things that you check, but I've got a whole detailed checklist and kind of like what I share with my clients in my coaching program that gives you the entire breakdown, and you can basically see every single point to make sure that this person actually is going to be good to work with. Because if you don't work with the right person, it can really affect all the other steps. So we must get this right. And so yeah, those are like the main things I'd say. And obviously them having the minimum followers. So if they got like 100 followers on social media, well, look, that's just not going to be enough to build a business. So, I mean, you kind of don't want to go below 30. I said it before in my other videos. Ideally more, right? Because the work it takes for us to build something will be the same regardless of their follower count. But the difference will be how much money that you can actually make. So that's the first step, right? We want to make sure we're picking the right influencer. And once you can do that, then you're going to be in a good spot and we can move on to the next step. So obviously we want to reach out to them, and we can do this through DM, we can do this through email, we can do this through, those are the two main ways, to be honest. But yeah, we want to reach out to them with a message that shows our value and also generates curiosity, makes them want to reply. And yeah, again, I got like my proven scripts that my clients have used to gain their partnerships. I've helped over like 10 people get partnerships now. So yeah, those scripts definitely work. But if you're doing this on your own, you want to create something that basically generates curiosity so that they do reply, okay? And ideally, if you've done the right message, they will reply to you. If not, then maybe you need to improve it, or yeah, just you want to make sure you spend some time on this part. When you do get a reply, then you want to get them on a call, because we need to actually speak to this person and make sure that, well, they're real and, you know, you guys will actually vibe and you can actually do a partnership together. And so, yeah, we want to get them on a call. And when they're on the call, that's when you will be explaining the partnership opportunity, how the business model works, like what you can actually do to help them. And the fact that there's no risk for them, right? Because it's a 0% cost upfront. You're just simply saying, hey, look, let me come in, let me build this for you. And if it generates money, or when it generates money, then only then will I get a percentage of the revenue. And that's a very fair arrangement. And the fact that, you know, as I said, if you're a beginner and you're watching this, if you clicked on this video and you're watching this, maybe you're just getting started in this, right? So like, you don't have any social proof behind you yet. So how do we combat this? Well, it's very easy. You just say, the reason why I'm doing a no upfront cost partnership is because this is kind of like my first time doing this. I don't want there to be risk for you. That's why I only do the percentage of the revenue. So that's one little hack or tip you could say that something I also teach my clients is like, you just have to leverage your current position, right? So if you're brand new to this, leverage the fact that you're going all in with this one person, and you know, this partnership is going to be basically your full-time thing. If you have been doing this and you have some clients, maybe you are a client watching this and you got a couple clients, well then look, you can leverage those testimonials and those results that you've generated to get your next partnership. So that's what you want to do there, right? So let's assume you've done this part correctly and you've secured a partnership. What do you do now? Okay, so great question. What we want to do is we actually want to make sure that we build something the audience wants. So look, like depending on the niche that you're looking in, like let's go with a dating example. If you've reached out to a dating influencer, then you probably want to build something around dating, right? And it's pretty obvious. It's just about creating an offer that somebody wants. And there's a way to do this. But yeah, you definitely want to make it super attractive so that whoever's seeing that offer, it's like no brainer. Like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to sign up to that. Like, and regardless of the cost, regardless of what it is, the value in their minds and the outcome that they'll get is basically worth more than the money that they'll pay, right? And so that's the secret or the key of making a successful offer to an audience, is about obviously making sure it's a valuable offer that somebody wants, and it's going to be worth more than the money they pay. And I got a few ways I do this. Again, it's kind of what I teach my clients, but we want to go out, we want to survey the audience, we want to make sure that we're building something they want. Once you do that, we of course make sure the influencer's happy, and then we go out and start building the offer. Now, in terms of the offer itself, like it's not necessarily one thing. Like you might be wondering, okay, we're monetizing an audience here, right? But what are we actually building? So this really does depend on the influencer, right? Their niche, what problem they're solving, how much time they want to be involved. Like, for example, if we had a call with an influencer and they said like, look, I really don't want to dedicate too much time to this. Like I'm very, very busy. Then in that case, maybe what we'll do is we'll just build them a course, right? And so that course is something they can just promote. Maybe they film the content once. They could spend an hour a week just filming the content, and then over a couple of weeks, you have a course. And then we release it, promote it, and yeah, that's done, right? Or if they're like, no, I want to be involved, I want to do some calls, I want to have a community, well, then maybe we do something like a school, right? I've talked about this many times on my channel. And then that way, members can stay, they can pay a monthly fee to be in the community, have calls, get like some coaching, right? And so that's what I'll do there. So it does depend on what the influencer tells you on the call and if they actually have time to commit to something like this, right? So that's the offer phase and kind of like how we, like what we build, how we can provide an offer to the audience, and like how much time the influencer has depends. So yeah, that's the offer phase. Now, of course, you want to go ahead, set up the fulfillment platform. So whatever platform you're using, most likely school or another one. And then what you do is basically set up the skeleton, right? Because the content itself needs to be from the influencer. And so they need to provide this to you. But the skeleton, the structure, is something you can go ahead, you can build out. And so it's just a matter of them providing you the content, like, here you go, and then you putting that content on the platform, and then it'll be a complete thing. So yeah, we want to build this strategically and make sure that whatever you're building is going to be professional, looks nice, the copywriting on point, like all the little things. These are the skill sets as a shadow operator that we need to have. We need to have, number one, is just basic like ability to write professionally, because so many times I've seen spaces between texts, a random dot on the end, or like misspelling. Just write English perfectly. If you can't do that, then just put it into something like Grammarly, or use like an AI tool, right? Just make sure whatever text is displaying to customers is written professionally. And so what they'll do is actually build trust with them, because I know for myself, if I was to come across a page or a website or something where there's like a typo or a misspelling, that will instantly break my trust. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I think it's super important and it can only help, right? So that's the first skill, is just writing. Secondly, technically copywriting is also a writing skill, right? But it's the ability to write persuasive copy, and copy is like the words that you see on some sort of sales page or course, or just when you're promoting something to customers, this is what they'll be reading. So how can we make those words sound good and make them want to click on to the next step? So the very basics of copywriting is kind of like, you want to make something sound either new, easy, big, or safe. So it's kind of like a formula from a book I read. I forgot the name of the book, but yeah, it's like, if you can make something sound new, easy, big, or safe, that will want to make the audience and want to make them take the next step and join, right? So yeah, like that is the two main skills. And the third is communication with the influencer. So of course we want to be keeping in regular contact, making sure that we are attentive if they have any questions, if we have any issues that we need from them, that we're in constant communication. That, you know, like the more you can communicate, I talked about this in my last video about like the principles of the partnership, but like, yeah, the better communication you have, the better the business will do, okay? And then just being able to set up the systems, what I would say would be the next big skill. So email marketing, setting up the actual course itself, creating like links, website, all this type of stuff, right? These are the systems involved. Now, again, like if you're a beginner and these skills are sounding brand new to you and you're like, hold a sec, like I've never done this stuff. Well, don't worry, because especially if you work with me, I'll be able to teach you exactly what you need to know, relevant to this business model, so that you don't have to get lost and basically get stuck on how you actually do things, right? Because I think it's not even like the stuff itself is actually pretty straightforward, but it's just having the confidence and having like maybe someone like myself who's done this business model for years to look over your shoulder and say, yes, you're doing a good job, like you're on the right track, makes all the difference, right? Because especially when you're approaching influencers, if they can tell that you don't have that confidence or like you're new to this, it can actually compromise the deal. But if you're coming in and say like you've learned what you needed to know and you know exactly what to do, or you know that you have me by your side, well, that will make a huge difference and give you a confidence boost and basically say, yep, I know I can help you because like I know what I'm doing, right? So yeah, probably a good time to say like, if from what you've heard so far, like you're understanding the process and you kind of know the steps, but maybe you're just like, how do I even get started? And I don't want to do this on my own and waste so many months. Well, look, you don't have to. You can actually click the first link in the description. You can apply to work with me one-on-one. I'd be more than happy to have a chat with you, see if I can help you. If I can, then yeah, you can come on as a client and I will literally help you A to Z in detail. We have weekly calls, one-on-one, and yeah, I can help you start and grow this business. And basically, within a few months, you could be generating revenue. So yeah, once you've launched the product, like, so you've built it and then you want to launch it, this is kind of the big thing, right? Because a lot of people think, right, on launch day, I need to have this massive sale. Like, of course you want to do that and you want to make sure you do your best efforts to have the launch as big as possible. But the launch is just the beginning, guys. Like, the launch is the beginning of the business, but you want to have a long-term outlook and a long-term mindset to this, because you can consistently grow this over time. It might be a few months, it might be 6 months, it might be a year that you can build this business up and create that recurring monthly income. So that will allow you to replace your job's income and essentially have that freedom, right? So I don't want you guys to have the mindset of like, okay, let me just build this something, launch, and then if it doesn't do well, or if it's just like one day I'm going to stop. No. We want to treat the launch seriously, do our best to do well, and continue to grow and implement scaling strategies and systems to basically grow this digital offer that you've created, okay? So yeah, like, launch is big. We want to promote it. We want to set up email marketing, like all this type of stuff, right? And the influencer obviously needs to promote it. And then from there, yeah, it's just a matter of scaling. So yeah, I mean, I got a ton of scaling strategies and things that I've used in my past business that helped us generate over 7 figures, me and my influencer, which we did over 18 months. So once you've launched, you want to scale it. And yeah, I mean, that's basically, honestly, how I wish shadow operating was explained to me as a complete beginner. And I hope this video gave you some clarity on kind of like each step to take. But honestly, like, from this video, you should be able to get started. Again, if you are stuck, then feel free to click the link in the description and we can have a chat. Other than that, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.